Hi folks, I'm trying again. I am having technical difficulties with the program that I normally use again. So bear with me, I'm a little bit closer to the screen than what I would like, but I'm also trying to get myself set up. So hello if you are coming in. Sorry, I think my previous broadcast might have gone on for like 2 seconds and then it quit on me. There I am. Okay, I've got that look on my face. Okay, so we are going to not chit chat for too long because I'm doing this old school and I have to flip my camera around and all that sort of stuff. So we might as well just get straight into it. I'm set up, I'm going, I can see what I'm doing, and we will get going. Hi Sherry, hi Donna. It's one of those mornings where of course something technically wrong is going to happen and that's just it. So and if I try and show you things this way, they're going to be back to front. So let's just flip the camera around and I can show you that way. So hang on 2 seconds. Hi Janet, hang on 2 seconds while I got to get used to doing this again, and I've got to flip my camera that way. See, I don't like doing it this way. I like, because I can't zoom properly either. Hi Lois, hi Kerry. Sorry about this for the moment. Okay, I think that's gonna do, and I will just have to adapt. Hey Catherine from Arizona, is it hot where you are? Because I'm cold and I've got my heater on. Okay, we are going to be playing, and I've got cords hanging off me and all sorts of things, so I've got to keep an eye on my battery on my phone too. Okay, so we are playing with Healing Hugs today, which is one of the new Distinktive stamp sets. It's sort of like a photorealistic stamp. So we used to, remember years ago I first saw them, and they used to have all these stamps of the old movie stars, and they were like taken from the photos and made into stamps, and we would all use them. So this is along the same line, so they're very photorealistic stamps. So we're going to be playing with that. The colours that we are playing with today is Granny Apple Green, which I think is becoming a favourite of mine. I'm loving it. And of course you've got to team them up with blues. So we've gone back to Coastal Cabana and also some Bermuda Bay. So very, very pretty colour scheme. And actually I've got a pile of stamps here that we're using. So not only are we using the Healing Hugs, we are using Timeless Textures. So I'm going to use this one here, which I love. We're using Sheet Music, and we are also going to be using, because I actually want a happy birthday, so I'm pinching the happy birthday from the Sunshine Sayings stamp set. That one always gets me tongue-tied. So that is what we're going to do. So we've got lots of stamping, lots of sponging. I do have to do some cutting out. I apologise for that. But let's get ourselves prepped and ready to go, shall we? So hello if you are coming in. Okay, so we be needing 2 Bermuda Bay. Now, I just want to show you, I might have to stand up for this so I can see what I'm doing. You probably can't see that very well, but it is a very smooth stamp and it's very, very finely etched. Like if you look at the other stamps, they are quite deeply etched, whereas these ones are very, very finely etched. And some of them are a little, you have to excuse my fingernails too, I've trashed them. So they're very, very finely etched stamps, and when you ink them up, like some of them, like some of the, like to get the distinctive look, they're etched at different levels, obviously, so that you can get, I'm going to turn that, oh, no, that one's even worse. I'm going to stamp on this end. So that you can get a really, really nice image that's got so much different depth in the one image, is what I'm trying to get out. I'm not having a very good time with my words this morning. All right. Now I'm finding also that you do not want a really, really juicy ink pad. I re-inked this last night because it was getting a little bit on the dry side. But I would probably even have less ink on it than that. But that's turned into a really pretty image. So we want 2 of them in Bermuda Bay. Again, I'm going to say, if you don't have your chamois, get one, because they are amazing. Even with these finely etched stamps, sometimes the ink gets stuck in there. But look at that. That is just, love it. I'm preaching it. Get one. They're only $14 in Australia, so you need to get one. Okay. Hi, Helen. And we've got Carol and another Helen and Lisa. Hello, hello. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a couple of the leaves and check out that. How cool is that? That's just from one stamping, like, so you get all those different shades of green in there just from one ink pad. It's amazing. Love them. So now you're going to have to bear with me. So you're going to have to come and chip with me. Leanne, naughty Leanne, sneaking in. Just have the volume down really quietly. So I do apologise, but I have to cut these out. I should have cut them out beforehand. So chit chat with me while I'm cutting out, because otherwise I'll be feeling like, well, I think Kerry, I mean, this is probably a little bit bolder than what I would like. I've done other images where they've stamped up a lot nicer. Here's one on my envelope where my ink pad hasn't been so wet. I think you get a better image when you've got a drier ink pad. So, and another thing that we used to do when we had, when those photorealistic, you know, the stars, you know, there was Rita Hayworth and all of those magnificent actresses back then. And we would apply our ink with a rubber brayer, and then we would stamp on the glossy cardstock so that we would sort of get that photo look. So, oh, you know what I've decided? I've said to you to all chat to me, but now I can't read the comments and cut out at the same time. Ah, sneaky, sneaky. Headphones are good. You just got to have your documents up or whatever it is up so that you can flip between screens in case somebody walks by. All right. See, and it's not so hard to cut out. They're okay. They're not a big deal. Although I don't like to keep you guys waiting with such a boring task. So I'm going to whiz around. Do them quickly. Hope the weather where you are is quite nice. Today is actually quite nice. It's still very cold, but the sun is shining. Which of course doesn't help our farmers because they need rain. Use the Stamparatus. I would find I should have left my ink pad dry so I could show you the difference between a dry ink pad and a wet ink pad. Oops. Because if you had a drier ink pad, you could always ink it up twice as well with your Stamparatus. So, oh yeah, the centre of mine, I have to move it around a fair bit because the centre of mine doesn't really want to ink up properly either. Do I need an extra scrap of white? I don't think so. Okay, nearly there, I'm nearly there. I am rushing, so it's not looking... I would do a needed slower job if I wasn't live. So I don't know what's going on with my other program. I'm going to have to... I'm getting some errors on it and it won't let me post live, so I'm going to have to go and do some troubleshooting on that program, I think. All right, so one more. And then we can get stuck into our stamping and card making and sponging and... Oh, -2, Helen. Brrr. No thanks. We had there was a little bit of fog this morning, but not just enough to make everything wet. Okay, Done, done, done. Right, I am doing a base of, see, don't those colours look great together? I'm doing a base of Thick Whisper White. So, and I've got a bone folder around here somewhere. All right, so a base of white, and I better put that aside because you know what I'll do. I better put all this stuff aside because I know exactly what will happen. All right, I need my Bermuda Bay back, and I've got a scrap piece of paper, and I've got my sheet music. And because these stamps are massive and my hands can't handle them, if you have that issue as well, you can either try this trick or, of course, the Stamparatus would be awesome because then you wouldn't have to try and grip hold of everything. Okay, so I think I'm up this way, aren't I? So I'm just going to lay my card down and just rub my hands over the top. And pull that off, and I'm going to clean that one a little bit later because I have to, that one involves a little bit more cleaning. Right, now I've decided that this card looks good with sponging, so I've got my little sponge here, and if you use the is it tabs for everything, circle tab or something like that, I never remember the names of things. But they're really handy to just write the name of it on, cut your sponges into quarters so they're nice and big and you've got that nice big round shape to work with. And then just pop your tag on there, and that way you'll have, you'll know what's what, and you'll have a sponge for each colour. Because I'm dreadful. I would always just reach into my sponge drawer and go, yep, that's blue. I'm using blue. Doesn't matter what shade of blue that I'm using, but I'll just use that one. And of course they end up just getting mucky and mucky, but this way you can keep your colours nice and separate. So, ice, yuck. It's too cold. I would be hopeless over in the US where it snows, or actually, you know, those parts in Australia where it snows as well. I would be terrible. And here I am going to Alaska in 3 weeks, and I'm gonna... Okay, so that piece is done. Now I'm just got a square of Coastal Cabana, which I'm not going to stamp in, but I'm going to... look, I'm getting everything mucky. I'm just going to sponge around the edges. So, Helen, these are just the Stampin' sponges. They come in a big round, and I've just cut them into quarters, and because I like them fairly big, and I usually just dab it off because I don't like too much ink when I'm sponging, which is why I've got muck all the way. I shouldn't call it muck. I've got sponged images all over my grid paper. And by dabbing it off first, you sort of just take off that harshness when you're sponging. Okay, so there's my other piece. Now I'm going to... Oh, I know it's summer over there, Kerry, but it's still cold. Because I was looking at their weather charts the other day, and it went, mind you, I think the weather is just like, whoop, it's... I was looking at it and it was like 11 degrees on one day, but then I think it was on the Sunday it was 11 degrees, and then by the Thursday it was going to be 30, and I was like, what? That's crazy. So you get a pack for all seasons, I think. Make sure that's clean. Okay, I am using my Timeless Textures, and I'm going to use this one here, the little grid pattern. So just ink her up. I think I'll go this way, and again I'm not even going to bother trying to line anything up because I knew it won't. So I'm just going to throw it down. Okay, and sponge around the edges of these. Dab off. Sounds like a dog scratching itself. Okay, I think that's it for the sponging. Oh, and I've just got a tiny little bit more stamping to do because I need my sentiment. So I had a scrap of, what do I need? I want my happy birthdays. You can see which one gets used the most out of my stamp set here. Would be a happy birthday. Such a cute little, well, it's not a cute stamp, but it's a very, it just goes with everything. Okay, and Bermuda Bay. Ink it up. Try not to get my head in the way. See, it's just a really good all-round font that, oops, I'm trying to clean my stamp. Come on, stuck. Right, I need to trim that. Excuse my cutter, my trimmer. It's just a very handy little one to have. Very handy little guillotine. Actually, I should keep all my scraps together on my table. Alright, and I can line things up good. Right. Now, the colours that I am using, oh, I don't think that's very, I think that's thicker on one end than what it is on the other. Only a smidge. So the colours that I'm using today, I run a monthly card club, and it is $10 a month, and you create 2 cards. I send you a kit out once a month at the beginning of the month. So so the next one, like the July kits, will be sent out on the 1st. And these colours I've had sitting out to make cards for that month. We're ready to adhere everything together now. That's what I'm looking for. That. Okay. So the cards that I am making are similar. We're using all the same components, but we've got different cards for this month's, for July's monthly card subscription. So if you want to join in, you can go to my blog and check it out. You can subscribe and you can start and stop whenever you want. I'm just trying to work out where I want my card to be placed. So this is just going to get stuck flat down. Yes. So the girls in my group. So what happens is once a month I'll send out all the product that you need, or like not stamps or anything like that, but just card kit. And you need to make 2 cards, and then I sort of leave it like a week or 2, and then once everybody's got their mail, we go into a private Facebook group and we make our cards live together. So I'm going to stick that up there. Yeah, that trimmer is very, very handy. Okay, so this one, whoops. This one is going to go across up here, just ever so slightly. Okay, and then which one's my better one? Probably that one. So I'm going to stick one of these down flat and pop that up around there somewhere. And then I need my dimensionals, don't I? I'm using up all the ends of my... Now, when I put my dimensionals on, I'm going to put them in the middle of my flower so that I can pop my leaves under. Look at that. Oops. Cut my fingernails. Can't get the stuff off. All right, so then I'm going to pop that one in that direction. Couple of leaves. See, once you get all your pieces together, your card just comes together, doesn't it? It's very quick. Oops. Under there. And my happy birthday. Going to get some of these mini ones. Now I'm going to pop up, because I'm going to attach it over here, I'm going to put normal tape on that end, and I'm going to put a dimensional on this end so that it is not like lopsided. Oops, 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 pick you up. Look at this, we're nearly finished, we're nearly finished. Well, I put you, I'm going to bring you down. I can't see what I'm doing when it's way up there. Okay. Is it straight-ish? All right. Huh. I'm just looking at the card that I made yesterday, Wednesday, and I've just done things around the other way, but that's okay. It still looks good. Okay, so of course we need some bling, 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 bling. Okay, so I've got cords hanging down everywhere. It's very pretty. I really like these colours. I've had them sitting out for some time, waiting for me to create the cards. And then I thought, because I go to Link and Learn, I will. And you know what else is really, really cool is that these colours, there is like, I think there's 3 ribbons that would tie in well for it. There's a Granny Apple Green ribbon, a couple of different Coastal Cabana ribbons. So they all tie in really well. And those new, the new glimmer dots, I've got them on my bench. I can't reach them from where I am. But they all tie in well with this. So the girls who are in my monthly card club, their cards have got like extras. They've got ribbons and the glue dot, the glitter dots and all that sort of stuff. So one more, so that we've got our little triangle happening. So oops, getting them all stuck to my finger. I need a grabby tool. There we go. Now, there is my card finished. So, whoops, stick down. Okay, I'm just going to let them sit for a bit. So there is my card finished. It's a bit tricky to see when it's white on white, but there we go. So such a pretty stamp set, that one. So there's the stamp set again, really pretty. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that is on my first wish list. Okay, so the cards that we made at Link and Learn on Wednesday. So that one's the same. Obviously, I've stuck them on the other side because I forgot what I was doing. But I've just used a different background from that Timeless Textures. I've used the spots instead of this one here. So there's that one. And of course we just stamped the inside quite quickly. And we stamped our envelopes, so don't forget your envelopes. That one turned out to be a really good image, that one. And then one of the ladies said, because we always make 2 cards, we always make them the same, but one of the ladies said, oh, I'm just going to turn my piece of card around the other way, and that's the other direction that it turned out, which I also think looks really, really cool. So it just changes the whole look of the card again, and then you just pop your roses in a different position. So all the same size cardstock, but just turned on a different angle, which I really like when one of the ladies in my group says, hey, why don't we try this? Because honestly, I am so lucky that these ladies trust me, because I don't get ready. Link and Learn starts at 10 a.m. I drop the kids off at school at, get back here at 8:45, and then I start preparing for my 10 o'clock class, and it's like, oh, I'm so glad they trust me, because half the time the card is in my head and hasn't actually come out, so a lot of it is trial and error. So there are my Healing Hugs cards. I just, hang on a minute, I'm just going to unplug for 2 secs. I've got to unplug my microphone. normally show the cards, but these are, so they're a little, that was what I'd made beforehand. And these are what I made yesterday. So my card club girls for July will be making these 2 cards. So they'll get all the supplies that they need. And if they don't have the same stamps that I've got, I'm sure that, you know, you can replace it with a different floral stamp that you have, different sentiment and etc. So they're the 2 cards that will be made for this month. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link up to the card making subscription club, and you can go and check that out. I'll put it in the comments, and I'll put it in the description of the thing, so if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm not going to turn back to me. I'm just going to say see you later. Thank you for watching. Excuse my mess. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you go and create, because these colours look beautiful together. They'd also look really good with 2 shades of pink and the green, I think. So, but I love the blues and greens together. So that's it. I will see you next Friday morning, and take care. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I will catch you again later. See ya. I'm going to stand up and find out where my off button is. Bye.